Good evening. We are live. No one's in. And I'm getting told my internet connection's bad. Oh, we've got 2 people in. Oh, one of them's me. Mute that. Okay. I will ditch that. That's Naz. Hey, Naz, how you doing? Sorry, I was just speaking to myself there. How's my picture, Naz? And can you hear me okay? So I've got a new mic and a dodgy internet connection. I'll pop in the chat. Oh, I think the internet's slow. Nightmare. Okay, what's going on there then? Okay. There's no reason it shouldn't be working. Right, I'll do a test. Test. 1, 2, 1, 2. What's going on? No, don't save. Okay, something not right here. Don't know what's going on. Hello. Hello. Wouldn't that be working? Don't know. What? Test this again. Hello? Testing. It's just not working. What is going on? I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. Why? Oh, you can. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. Cool. Sounding okay? Crisp. I was going to be, yeah. I don't know how. I've got no idea. Switch it off and switch it on again by the sounds of things. Okay, we're up and running. Good stuff. Hello, Naz. Hello, Catherine. How are you? We've got a mystery third guest. Don't be shy. So, what was I going to talk about to get things kicked off? So yeah, I've had a pretty busy last week or so, just between stuff at home and stuff with work. So I've been doing like 3 videos a week, and I've had a chance to record a video in over a week until today. So I'm a bit behind. So I'm doing this live tonight, but it just kind of things have just kind of been up a little bit in terms of YouTube, trying to kind of fit that in around everything else. So and at the weekend, I was kind of getting told by my better half that I needed to spend a little bit more time family. So yeah, but the weekend was, I just kind of wrote that off and said I'm not going to do anything to do with YouTube and just focus on the kids. And, we had a good weekend and stuff. So I had a busy start to the week with work. So I managed to sneak out at lunchtime today and record a video, which is good. So that will come out probably tomorrow or Friday. So yeah, it was kind of a nice it was a nice weekend, but just kind of a bit of a reminder to myself to take breaks. And so we'll see. It's not even been a week since I posted a video. I think I published a video on Friday last week, so it's not like it's been weeks. But I think it'll be fine. So a little break is quite good. I see we've got A Star Lifestyle. Hello, and good to know that you can hear me as well. It's warm in here anyway, but I was sweating even more when I realised that no one could hear me. So I was been messing about with my setup. So I don't know. I'd be interested to know if the picture's any good as well, because I'll bore you with the details. So I keep getting in live stream, StreamYard, I keep getting told my connection's unstable. And kind of full disclosure, this is at the upstairs in my garage, and I've got like a mesh network, and I've got like a hub or a network point downstairs, and I just use the Wi-Fi from that, but the upload speed was pretty poor. So I bought a 30-meter long network cable, and I've ran it up to the laptop, which I'm now getting far better upload speeds, but it ranges. It kind of seems to drop up and down. So it's anything from like 1 megabyte to like 20 megabytes. So I keep getting told that the internet's poor, and I'm not sure if that's affecting the picture quality. But on top of that, I spoke to a WhatsApp chat with Jay last night. And there he is, in fact, talking to the devil. So yeah, he's saying it seems to freeze now and then. Yeah, less than 6 megs. So it seems to come and go, Naz. I'm not entirely sure how to fix it. So I think if it's just because the trouble is the mesh network point downstairs is still wirelessly connected to the main router. So even having a plugged-in connection, like me and Jay are fellow nerds, to be fair, both IT guys. But yeah, and so anyway, because that's wirelessly connected, I don't know how much better having a wired connection is from that to here. But it seems to be better because I was getting better speeds. But then, as I say, it kind of drops up and down. So I might have to consider doing lives inside the house. I just don't know where I'm going to do them. So we'll see how that goes. And me and Jay were speaking last night, and I had bought. So for anyone that's not from the UK, Aberdonians are well known for being pretty tight when it comes to spending money. So I bought like a really cheap card, to capture card, because I've got a Sony A7 III that I'm filming it on, and it doesn't stream through USB. Well, it does. It has got a USB cable that streams to the laptop. However, you're not getting decent quality. So I've got an HDMI cable, but I need to get, or have ordered, like a decent capture card. And it was funny because I was telling Jay about it last night, and I actually had a heart-to-heart with ChatGPT about it. And ChatGPT basically told me that I got mugged off for buying this cheap one, because it's basically doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So like I was literally getting slated by ChatGPT for being tight. So anyway, I've ordered the right one, and I will see if that comes hopefully tomorrow, and that might help improve the picture. But yeah, I think the internet speeds maybe going to be an issue anyway, or the upload speeds from being up in this pokey little garage. So we'll see how it all goes. Anyway, so we've got 7 joined at the moment. I think last live I got 8 at one point, so we'll see if that connects. Someone's dropped, fed up with the IT chat. That's just fair enough. Is the Ethernet cable plugged into the router? No, it's not. It's plugged into like so it's like a mesh node. So the main router's inside, and there's a wireless connection to the node, and then I've got a cable running from the node up to the laptop now. It has improved things, but I was kind of, being an IT guy, I was kind of like, it shouldn't really have improved anything. So I was kind of skeptical, but the upload speeds do seem better, but they're not consistent. It's kind of dropping in and out, I think. So we will see. So hey ho. So who have we got in tonight? We've got Naz, obviously, Jay as well, Catherine. Glad everyone's hearing me okay. A-Star Lifestyle. Jay, last thing I'd say is this: if you connect your Ethernet cable to the router, it will be fine. You've got wireless to wired. That's right. Yeah, and it was I was really just kind of sort of stabbing in the dark, trying to fix the issue. I can't see me. Well, I could probably run a network cable from inside to outside, but I would have to. Yeah, it would be probably a hassle. The answer might just be to actually do my lives inside, to be honest. It doesn't help the fact that up here, like, it's been a quite hot day, and it's absolutely roasting up here. So yeah, it's not great, but hopefully the audio is coming through. The audio wasn't working at start, so that's good. So yeah, I was saying earlier. So I mean, obviously, yeah, guys, drop any questions in that you have. But yeah, I was saying just at the start there about I'd taken a kind of mini break. I didn't do anything to do with YouTube last week, and yeah, saw the benefit of it for sure. Got some time with the kids, and yeah, I've been having a bit of time roasting in Scotland. Roasting in Scotland is 8 degrees. Yeah, well, yeah, that's tops off weather, to be honest, in Scotland. So there you go. I pissed my wife off and tacked a long cable along the house on the skirting boards. Yeah, I think my wife would give me a similar reaction if I did that. I'd also have to probably feed out the kitchen window across the chuckies of the driveway and then into the garage. It's not even like an attached garage. So yeah. But yeah, so yeah, what was I saying? So the little kind of mini break. So it was quite good because I've been kind of obsessing over analytics a little bit lately, and just coming up with some theories, and it probably is just kind of nonsense. But I did a video. Did I do a video about it? Yeah, about videos that are less than 10 minutes long, or less than 5 minutes long, I think, and how YouTube isn't pushing them. So I've kind of gotten into, it's bad when you start doing conspiracy theories about YouTube when because you've been studying analytics so much. So yeah, I've kind of just decided to kind of back off the YouTube analytics a little bit and not look at Studio quite as much as I used to. Oh, hey Andrew. Good to see you, bud. So yeah, I'm trying to not focus too much on the analytics side of it and just keep focusing on the videos, because it is kind of true when you're, especially when you're balancing YouTube with a full-time gig. Trying to find, if I was trying to do 3 videos and introduce lives as well, and finding the time to come up with ideas and record videos and publish them and all that is one thing. But if you're constantly being distracted by YouTube Studio app, I find I was like neglecting other stuff, not getting other sort of stuff that I need to get done. It was just starting to affect things a little bit. So, I know from being on Rob the Maritimers lives in the past, he's kind of a firm believer in, once the video is out there, it's either going to do well or it's not. And I think I'm trying to kind of just heed that advice and just kind of go, well, okay, yeah, the majority of the videos are not going to probably do that well. So rather than question it too much. I mean, I'm not saying if a video does quite well, maybe study that and kind of go, okay, what was working well there, and maybe lean into that, but not obsess over it. So yeah, so I think that's kind of what I'm trying to do. A-Start, I took Naz's advice and deleted the YouTube Studio app from my phone. Now I only check it on the laptop whenever I upload a new video. Yeah, it's not a bad way to go about it. I've not quite taken the plunge of removing the app yet. I did disable notifications though, so I'm kind of weaning myself off. But yeah, that's kind of changed my perspective a little bit. Is kind of thinking, yeah, well, there's no point in kind of dwelling on it too much. You've put the energy into that video. Let YouTube do its thing. It's there. It might pick up again later. I've heard of people saying they've put videos out that months later suddenly have a spike in activity. So I guess that's a possibility. And then, yeah, just kind of start focusing on the next videos. And instead of doing 3 per week, because I was kind of getting into this Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of routine. So actually I had a coaching call with Naz, not with Naz. I didn't have a coaching call with Naz. I had a coaching call with Rob earlier this week, and we were chatting about kind of strategy and stuff like that. And yeah, basically, he'd kind of said, well, it's a lot, because I said I definitely want to do lives because I see the benefit of doing those, because it's good to speak to people kind of in real time in terms of your audience and your subscribers and things. And obviously, I've only done 2 lives. They've definitely had, a decent amount of watch hours compared to other videos. So I can see why doing lives are obviously beneficial. And then, yeah, so kind of he was saying, well, why don't you do 2 kind of regular videos and a live every week, rather than, because I was saying, well, I'm going to try and do 3 videos every week and do a live every 2 weeks. And he's like, why not just do 1 live every week and then just do 2 other videos? And that seems a bit more kind of sustainable, kind of long term, I think. So yeah, so that was good. It was good to speak to Rob, and good to hear from someone who is who's kind of gotten or taken their channel to kind of a size and that I think most of us are trying to strive for, I guess. So yeah, it was good to speak to him. Right, I'm going to catch up in the chat because I know there's loads of stuff going on. Andrew, I'm not as strong as Nas. Haven't deleted the app yet, but I'll be able to move past the feeling of needing to check it all the time. Yeah, it's kind of like me. I'm kind of at the same place as you, Andrew. Nas, St. Andrew, deleted it because I'm weak. If I had it, I would be checking. Yeah. I mean, that's a fair point. If it's not there, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, isn't it? And I kind of did that with all my social media apps as well. I kind of ditched Instagram and Facebook because I was checking them and nothing good was really coming out of it, to be honest. So yeah, I think I should probably do the same. Okay. Jay was irritated by analytics this week. I know that because we were WhatsApping about it. Fuming, in fact. We've all been there. We've all been there. In fact, was it when I was speaking in a live 2 weeks ago? Was that when I was talking about the video I had that like I was so sure that video was going to do well, and YouTube were basically just like, nah, we're not showing that to anybody. And you just think, well, why? And for the small impressions it had, like the click-through rate and stuff was good, and average watch time was good, but just wasn't being shown to enough people, which is weird. And then I put out a video that I thought was total crap, and all of a sudden it did okay. So it just makes me think, I'm not going to try and outsmart the algorithm now. I'm just going to keep making videos and see what happens. Chappie Uncut, hi Chappie. Can't stay long, had to stop in. Great to see you're up and running. Thanks very much. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. And yeah, got there eventually with the audio. And Jay, Naz got about 8 messages from me moaning about it. Yeah, I must have sore thumbs texting us both. Catherine, oh no, why? Andrew, been there too. Yep, I think we've all been there. Yeah, it was just, yeah. It's why, this is what makes me laugh, because all these kind of people on YouTube that we watch, now, I think it's all safe to say that every one of us that's in here, has done their research on YouTube and the algorithm and stuff like that. And you've got guys like Rob and others who aren't kind of preaching this is how you perfect the algorithm. They're just kind of doing their thing. And then you've got the guys who are like so headstrong, or certainly coming across as headstrong in that this is how you do it. And it's like, do you really know? I don't think you do. Catherine, I'm back. Just got my breakfast and settled in now. Excellent. I know it's early doors for you, Catherine, so thanks for joining. Other messages. Jay, YouTube stop posting. I'll try that again. Pushing my videos past 1,000 impressions despite great engagement and a reasonable average view duration. Nah, it's nothing to do with better videos. I don't think, Jay. As I say, I know we can all be a little bit biased towards our own videos, but as I say, that video 3-4 weeks ago, I thought was really, really good. It was certainly an improvement on. It wasn't so much that it was really good. It was just better than a lot of my early videos. So I thought, yeah, this should do okay. But it got like 500 impressions, and then it just flatlined after that. And then so Jay, the last one got 8 times the impressions, so I thought that would happen again, but YouTube my pants down, smack my arse. Yeah, don't have expectations, absolutely. Yeah, that brings me on to an interesting point, actually. So the last 2 videos have been published since I enabled auto dubbing, because I thought it did that automatically, and then I realized it didn't. So I went into settings and enabled that. So my last 2 videos, well, the second last one, which I did last Wednesday, it's had 30,000 impressions. However, it's only, I say only because it's still my most viewed video, but it's sitting at just over 400 views, which I'm thinking, oh, that's my most watched video, great. But the click-through rate's like 0.5%, because 400 views based on 30,000 impressions is nothing. And then I look at in the analytics at, like it shows you like videos that are suggesting this video, and it's a bunch of stuff from like South Korea, and that's nothing to do with YouTube growth. It's just random videos, and there's a whole load of them. And I'm thinking, okay, so YouTube's people are watching whatever they're watching in South Korea and thinking, I'm going to recommend Steve from Scotland's YouTube growth video. And it's like, well, yeah, no one's clicking on it, obviously. So yeah, I just don't. I think the algorithms having a wobbler. That's my opinion. Okay. Yeah. Catherine, I don't understand the analytics. I'm thinking of keeping it that way, rightly or wrongly. I just focus on views and subs. Yeah, and that's kind of where my head's at now. So I was, because again, when I was speaking to Rob on Monday, we were talking about, kind of goals for me and for the channel and stuff like that. And I said that, monetization seems such a far away reach, not from subscribers, because in like 3.5, 4 months, I've gained close to 170 subscribers. So I reckon I could turn around 1,000 subscribers reasonably quickly if I just keep going. But in that same time period, I've only had like 150 watch hours. So 4,000 watch hours in a 365-day window seems completely out of reach. So we were talking about it, and I kind of came to the conclusion that, well, actually, even if I got the 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subs, in terms of what I would get paid from AdSense, it's relatively speaking peanuts. So why am I fixating on achieving that when, because most of us are probably doing a channel because we want to grow it into an income that would certainly supplement our current incomes, or hopefully replace our current 9-to-5 jobs. I think that's why a lot of us are doing it. So why strive to get to that metric and then to get 50 quid a month or 100 quid a month or whatever it is, because that's not going to change anything. I'm not knocking AdSense, but it kind of made me think, actually, watch hours, I really don't care about them now. All I'm really interested in is growing the channel in terms of subscribers and trying to build a business off of that. So build stuff of value that people might be interested in buying. And obviously, the bigger the channel you grow in terms of your subscribers are, I guess, effectively potential customers, aren't they? So that's how I'm kind of starting to look at it now. And it's like, okay, well, how do you get more subscribers? Well, you consistently make good videos that they're interested in watching, and then they're going to invest in your channel by initially subscribing to it. So just make good videos, and that's what YouTube's all about when you actually strip it right back. So that's my focus now, is just make videos that I think my viewers are going to like, and hopefully that grows the subscribers. Hopefully they get decent average watch times, and then as a byproduct of all that, then I may well get the watch hours anyway, and then AdSense becomes like a bonus. So I'm not at all kind of thinking about watch hours now. I'm just trying to get as many subscribers as I can. Anyway, that's my thing. Okay, comments. Let's see what's going on. Andrew's saying it's good to have high engagement though. I've consistently got good impressions but lower engagement, which can be its own headache. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I found with my last 2 videos since putting on the auto dubbing that the impressions is completely blown up, but relatively speaking, the engagement's low. Whereas before, the engagement was good for the amount of traffic that video was getting. So, there's different ways of looking at it, isn't there? So, loads of impressions is great, but ultimately, the only way that you get the views and you get subscribers is if enough people, if the click-through rate's good. And as I say, I'm not convinced that by enabling auto dubbing that YouTube is pushing that video to people that actually want to watch it. So I'm kind of like, lots of impressions, but yeah, okay. Given the amount of impressions, some of those videos have had more views than normal, but it's still nothing earth-shattering. So I don't know. Good point, Andrew. Yeah. Jay, I get a lot of comments, which I'm always really grateful for. Yeah. I've not replied to a comment yet, I don't think. And obviously I would try and keep that up as long as possible. At my size of channel just now, it's not too difficult to do that. But it's still quite time consuming. So I mean, hats off to people like bigger channels and stuff who are replying to every comment. You must get to a point where that becomes a real challenge. It's probably not a bad dilemma to have, to be fair. Jay, decided against auto dubbing for that reason, Steve. I know I wouldn't watch a dubbed video, so don't expect anyone else to. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing as well. It's like, is it almost kind of like desperation? Trying to you say, "I'll just ram this video down the throats of people that and aren't going to watch it," and that's it. Maybe just the impression, the thumbnail alone and the title, if it's in a different language, is that putting people off? Because yeah, okay, the video might be auto dubbed, but some people might not even be able to read English, so the title would mean nothing to them. If I get pushed a video from someone in South Korea, and the title and the thumbnails in Korean, I'm not going to click on it because I think I have no idea what that's about, unless the thumbnail image is really intuitive. So yeah, it's a fair point. Like, I don't know if enabling is actually doing more harm than good. So I don't know. I smell a video coming on. My lives, yeah, lives are giving me 220 watch hours, which, yeah, I mean, I'm saying I've done 2 lives prior to this, and I don't know what they were, but yeah, I've got a total of about 150, 160 or something like that just now. So like, there's, yeah, I would say those 2 lives are probably even if it's like 10% of that, if you're doing one every week, then I can see how it does start to mount up. So I think the lives for sure I'll do going forward. So you're saying, yeah, 4 lives. So I do 1 a week and drop a video. Yeah, that was kind of what Rob was kind of suggesting, and I think it makes sense. Like, it's certainly if I mean, I've just literally said that I'm not too bothered about watch hours now, but equally, it's not a bad thing to have. But it's more, I think, it's having the real time engagement with people. I think that helps the community side of it, which we've all seen the benefit of from joining each other's lives and stuff. So I think for that alone, even not thinking watch hours, just this format is good. And obviously, the more subscribers that come along and perhaps join these lives just helps to build up that engagement, and just helps. There's something about watching somebody live that there's no filter, there's no editing, so it's the real you. Obviously, it should be the real you in your other videos, but you kind of know what I mean. And it's completely filtered, and I guess there's a trust building element that comes with lives as well for new subscribers who come and watch you for the first time. Maybe just helps build that trust. So I think there's lots of benefits to it. Gear Up Survival, hello. Say long due to work tonight. How long ago was that? It's 6 minutes ago. I might have missed you already. Thanks for dropping in if you have gone already. Naz, I'd love to watch one of your videos dubbed in Hindi. Not that I understand it would just be funny. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is it. Because you can review, I think you can choose to review the auto dubs, which obviously I wouldn't bother doing. But the fact that so many people in South Korea, I'm interested to see what that would sound like. So maybe the next one I'll do a review and just give myself a laugh. Catherine, oh, sorry, I've unclicked your comment. Hang on. Watch hours seems unattainable for me too, but a realization I came to is that other people do it, and I'm a person, so I can too. It'll just take a while unless I have a video or two that take off. This is it. Yeah, I mean, I think that, as I say, I don't think it's if you get it, great, because it's if you're going to be making videos and you're committing to making videos, why would you want money from that AdSense? If you are going to show ads, you might as well get a share of that. So if it happens, then fine. And you're right. There's people that have done it, and there are people that are no different to us, just regular people that are making videos. And I think that's, yeah. I mean, if it happens, I'm not going to say no, but I'm not kind of obsessing over it, because seeing how little watch hours I've had compared to what you need, and obviously, because we were speaking to Rob about it, and he was kind of saying that he said you'd be surprised actually how quickly it does build up, because he was kind of going, Rob's talked about like his spreadsheet that he's got, and all the stuff that he's tracked since he started, and when he was rattling off some of his numbers, they were there or thereabouts with what I had. So, and obviously, we all know the success that Rob's made of his channel. So, yeah, I think that yeah, it seems unattainable when you're starting out, but Rob's probably right. It probably does pick up quicker than what you think. But for me, I'm just not going to think about it, and I want to focus on other things that I can prepare that are going to help hopefully generate some revenue from the channel, and that doesn't depend on being monetized. And then I say, hopefully, as the channel grows, it just becomes a byproduct, because you've got bigger volumes coming in and the watch hours start to rise. Gear Up, good luck with your stream today. Wish I could stay. I have to catch you in the next one. Yeah, you'll definitely be gone now. But yeah, thanks for joining. Appreciate you joining in. Jay, your videos are always really engaging to me, Catherine. You talk about important things of value. Yes, yeah, Catherine's videos are really good. I think Catherine's channel will do well because there's so much emphasis on personal well-being, and looking after ourselves. It's just become a topic that more and more people are showing an interest in, and the fact that I noticed that, Catherine, you put out a video yesterday, I think, and it was you were talking about, do I have a separate channel for doing business stuff and keep the other channel for the more mindfulness stuff, and ultimately decided to kind of include both in the one channel, which I think is a good move. I think trying to manage 2 channels is going to be hard. But also, I think the audience, entrepreneurial people, are probably quite into that kind of personal well-being and mindfulness, because it's all about, keeping yourself in a good frame of mind so that you can take on these challenges head on and stuff. I think the two kind of go hand in hand. So I think that'll do really well. And I was talking earlier about short videos not getting pushed as much, but you do a lot of short videos and they seem to be doing well, and the channel's growing. So yeah, I think, Catherine, just keep doing what you're doing. I think you're doing a really good job. Gear Up Survival said, Jay, what does dubbed mean? Maybe, Jay, you've answered it for him. Because I think Gear Up Survival is gone now. Chappy Uncut, not as far along as most of you, but seeing the same. Impressions are up to about 400 to 500 and then flatline. Yeah, that resonates with kind of what I was seeing. I only hit 100 subs. It was actually my daughter's birthday, so I remember the date. So it was the 3rd of July, and we're just a month on and almost at 170 subscribers. So I'm seeing subscriber jumps becoming more. And I don't know I guess if more subscribers are having that video push to them initially and they're engaging with it and reacting to it, then maybe that's why I'm seeing, on average, slightly higher impressions. I guess that's probably just typical as your channel grows. So if you're saying that you're not at the kind of same stage as likes of like myself and Jay, and that's probably normal. And then likewise, Jay and I are probably not seeing the kind of volume that likes a Naz would see, because he's sitting at, I think, about 1,200 subscribers. So that's probably all pretty normal. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Jay, AI did a voiceover in another language. So that was answering Gear Up Survival, yeah. Which sounds like a handy thing, but yeah, I am kind of beginning to wonder, should I switch that off? Catherine, lifelong passion, so I'll be always talking about some shape or form. Yeah, and that's probably why the videos do well. It's obviously something that you're genuinely passionate about. It's a good thing to be passionate about, isn't it? Because it's all taking time to reflect and look after your own kind of mental state and things should be something we're all passionate about. It's probably something that we're not all great at doing, especially guys, especially men. I think we're getting better at it, but there's a lot more work to be done there, I think. So the more people that are talking about it and explaining why we feel these feelings that we have, I think is a good thing. And in fact, because I'm going to turn these lives into more like kind of podcast style in terms of what Jay's doing. I think that's a bit more exciting for people to kind of watch than just listen to me drone on. But well, I don't think we've quite arranged a date for Jay being on mine, but I'm going to be on Jay's later in the month. Catherine, you and I are doing, I think, 2 weeks' time. And I've also got someone else who've got lined up, and they're in the kind of mindfulness niche as well. She's, I think, got about 200 subscribers at the moment, or just over 200. So yeah, looking forward to having her on as well. So, and if anyone that's watching that's not already geared up for being on, let me know. Gear Up Survival, gotcha. Yeah, and come in handy sometimes. I know Mr. Beast uploads his content to several channels of different languages. He says it helps. Okay, if it works for Mr. Beast, I suppose. His videos are a bit different to ours. That is very true. I mean, I would like to make videos like what Mr. Beast does, and unlimited blank check for his production and stuff. because some of them are just mental. I've not actually watched that many of them. I've only watched maybe 2 or 3. But yeah, it looks fun. There we go, Catherine. Taking a few days off with a cold. I lost interest, but it's coming back now. Yeah, I mean, if you're not feeling well, there's no point in trying to power through if your heart's not in it. You know, I mean, when you need rest, just take the rest. You know, YouTube will be there when you come back. That was kind of like me at the weekend. Wasn't because I was unwell. It was just, yeah, it just felt like it completely consumed by YouTube, and it wasn't really fair to my wife and kids, to be honest. So it was nice to not, the weekend was kind of like, I didn't have to think about where do I fit in recording a video or editing a video. I just had a chill weekend, so it was pretty good. Sometimes just have to look after number one. A-star lifestyle comments and shares are really important engagement metrics that YouTube uses to push a video out to wider audiences. As long as your click-through rate stays above 6% and your 30-ish retention, or sorry, your 30s retention is above 65. Well, listen, if my videos were getting retention of 65 to 70% and 6% click-throughs, I'd be pretty happy. I've had some videos that have had that kind of click-through. I don't think I've had any videos that have had retention of that kind of level. I've had kind of, I think, maybe 55%. I've not had anything above that. And obviously, I find tends to be the shorter videos that get the better retention. But I still haven't quite shaken off that conspiracy theory that YouTube's not pushing smaller videos. So, but I'm at the same time, I'm telling myself I don't care about watch hours, so I'm just going to make videos that whatever I feel the right length is. But yeah, I think the longer. Oh yeah, cheers, James. Seen your comment. Wait, what the dog? In terms of what was I talking about there? Yeah, in terms of retention, obviously the longer the video, the harder it's going to be to kind of maintain that kind of retention level. And I think there's a bit of a kind of art which I haven't mastered to how you keep people watching like a 20-minute video, say, and get a retention of kind of 60% or plus or more, because you've kind of almost got to kind of be drip feeding the value throughout the video and keep people going long enough that they won't switch off before you drop that next nugget to kind of pad the video out. And I think that it's a very risky maneuver because you could say, well, I want to get watch time, so I'm going to make a 20-minute video, and I'm going to keep all the value to the very end to keep people watching. Well, they're not going to. They're going to drop off because a few minutes in, they're going to realize that this video is rubbish. Equally, okay, well, I'm going to gain their trust by putting all the value into the first few minutes. But if the next 18 minutes are just filler that you've just used to pad out, of course, they're not going to watch all that. So again, either way you do it, you don't get the retention and people drop off and YouTube thinks it's a bad video. So there must be a real skill. And I guess it's down to how you structure a 20-minute video to keep people watching long enough, and maybe how engaging you are as well, how you're talking to the camera and stuff, which again, if you're a small channel and you're just starting, that takes practice. Like I'm better speaking to the camera than I was, but still got a long way to go. So I think that in my mind at the moment is if all the value that I have to give in this video I can do in 5 minutes, I'm just going to do it in 5 minutes and hope that those videos get decent retention. They've got a better chance of getting decent retention, and that if they're doing that, then hopefully a decent amount of people that watch it will subscribe. That's and then the next thing after that is obviously actually getting people to click on it in the first place. So thumbnails are always an enigma to me. You know, I try and kind of follow basic fundamentals that should, in theory, be a good thumbnail, but does it drive enough curiosity, and or does it pose a question that people answer or whatever? You know, yeah, there's a lot goes into it, isn't there? But that's kind of what I'm working on just now. Gear Up Survival. I went and liked all of Steve's vids in one day. Yes, I remember you saying that actually in a comment, and I was really chuffed that you did that. So I appreciate that. Jay, I'm saying you had to walk the dog. Catherine, enjoy doing lives, even though not many people join at the moment. Hope to get back to mine next week. Yeah, and I'll hopefully try and catch yours, Catherine, as well. I know that the time zone difference can be a problem sometimes, but I will definitely try and join yours. And yeah, I enjoy them as well. You know, I look forward to the lives now, and you know, we've got 5 people in here just now. But you know, relative to the size of channel, that's about what I expect. You know, if you think that Rob's got 75,000 subscribers and you know he's getting about 200, which is great. It's a, you know, and I don't know if I would want much more than that, because I think I would struggle to keep up. I think you definitely need moderators for that. But yeah, you just need a small crowd. It's enough to make it engaging. That's all you need. Andrew, thanks. Steve, got to go. No problem. Thanks for coming, Andrew. Appreciate that. Hey, Catherine, started by sharing my journey as a business owner too. Hoping it goes okay. We will see. There's certainly many personal challenges when running a business. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to those business videos because, you know, I've never really ran a business. I've always kind of been entrepreneurial, but I've never gone as far as starting a business. I think what I'm planning to do with YouTube would be the closest I'll have come to that. So I'm interested to see your videos because I'm sure I'll pick up some really useful stuff from those. So yeah, looking forward to that. And Catherine, I think it's hard to talk any longer. I'm someone who wants the information without fluff. I did a poll, interestingly, 71% of people prefer 5 to 10 minute videos to longer ones. Yeah, I mean that was kind of my, when I first started, I kind of suggested to myself, look, don't make a video longer than 10 minutes because everyone's got stuff going on in their lives. Everyone's busy, and sure, people want to go and watch YouTube videos, but you know, they don't want to just watch a load of fluff, like you say. And you know, in my videos that I put out now, I tend to be better at cutting the fluff out. I did waffle quite a lot at the start. Something I need to work on in lives. But yeah, you know, it's you just have to think like a viewer. Like they don't want to listen to you. You know, repeating myself is something else that I was bad for. You know, making the same point multiple times. You don't have to. You've made that point. If you make it with enough authority once, then move on. You know, you don't have to keep covering an old rope. So yeah, I totally get that people would not want videos more than 10 minutes long. I think if it's like a tutorial on something, that's where most of my longer videos have come from, is like showing people how to do stuff. And even then, I'm kind of like, oh, wow, this is a 25-minute video. I don't really want to put this out. But I feel like, you know, if I was to cut it down any more, then it would lose its benefit. So yeah, that's my talking videos where I'm just talking. It's like, yeah, I don't really want to go over that kind of 10 minutes. Okay. Bye, Jay. Yeah. Naz, once you finish your live through StreamYard, does it directly appear in YouTube Studio as a VOD, or is there a separate process for this? I'm going to sound like a dunce and ask what VOD is. If you mean as in is it just like is it just there for people to watch? Then yeah, it's there automatically. StreamYard just once it's done, it's just there, and then you might want to go in and update the description afterwards, which I've not done in my lives yet. But like if there was like specific topics that you want to that came up in the video and you want to call that out, that might help people click on it. But I've just left them with a standard description. Anyway, A-Star has answered your question after your live concludes. But yeah, I still don't know what VOD means. Catherine, I tend to get consumed too, Steve. It's my personality to go all in. I do love the challenge of growing something from scratch, although my channel is an old one that I've revived. Yeah, well, that was mine as well. Mine was all about landscape photography like 7-8 years ago. And when I decided I wanted to get back into YouTube, landscape photography videos. So there's a landscape photographer called Thomas Heaton, who is quite a big landscape photographer on YouTube in the UK. And when you talk about like not wanting to be like other people on YouTube, I wanted to be like him. And filming landscape photography videos was really difficult because you'd be out like in like remote places taking photographs, and you'd have to film all your own B-roll. So you'd be setting your camera up on a tripod to like film you like walking along a road, and so you'd have to be like setting it up, making sure it's all right, go walk along past the camera, go around, check it's okay. And I was like, see, since I've had kids, it's like I ain't got time for that. So I decided to go down this route, but I didn't create a new channel. And for a while, I was kind of paranoid that was a mistake, because obviously, yeah, I had like didn't have many subscribers, but I was kind of like worried that if it's pushing YouTube videos to people that are interested in photography, then they're not going to watch it. But anyway, the channel's started moving in the right direction. So, A-Star, got to go and finish my last work meeting of the day. Talk to you later, Steve, and everyone. Yeah, nice to have you here, A-Star. Thank you. Catherine. Hi, Naz and A-Star. Apologies for not saying hi sooner. It went off to get breakfast. Yeah, video on demand. I see. I should have known that. But yeah, it's there. It's all teed up nicely. We have got Laura. Way late to the video because, well, summer and kiddo being off. Realizing my sweet spot with videos lengths about 5 to 7 minutes forces me to only leave the good stuff. Yeah, firstly, welcome, Laura. Thanks for joining. And I think that is kind of a sweet spot for me, is 5 to 7 minutes, kind of 10 max. That's kind of where my head's at just now in terms of video length. I mean, if it goes slightly over that, but if I'm touching on 15 minutes, then I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, I need to try and chop this down a little bit. But if anything, it's the other way around at the moment. I feel like I've gotten better at recording and reducing the amount of fluff that I'm saying to the camera in the first place, that by the time I actually edit it, I'm like, oh, because if I've obviously made some mistakes and stuff along the way. So by the time I've edited out those mistakes, I'm like, oh God, I'm like barely 5 minutes here. So I mean, I've had 3-minute videos, which didn't do all that well. And again, it kind of bought into this kind of theory I had that YouTube doesn't push this. And this was all, if you didn't hear me speaking about it before, I did a video, I think start of last week, and it was, is YouTube ghosting your shorter videos? And this was because the CEO of YouTube had said that so TV, people watching YouTube on television, it's not the most used medium for watching YouTube, but it's the fastest growing. So they're seeing the biggest increase in users watching through televisions. And the theory was, and other people on YouTube had kind of said that the theory is that when people sit down on their sofa to watch YouTube, they're kind of treating it like Netflix, and they want to watch something. They don't want to constantly be looking for new videos to watch. They want to kind of sit down and chill out. And right enough, I mean, if I go to watch YouTube on my TV, which I don't do often, but if I do, I've got like one of these little Amazon Fire Sticks, and if I'm trying to like type in to search for something and I've got to kind of scroll across to each letter, I don't want to be doing that every 5 minutes. I would rather find something that was a good kind of 20-minute watch. So I think it depends what, as opposed to your phone, you might be quite happy just to watch a quick 5-minute video. So if YouTube thinks that is becoming more popular and watching things on TV, but people are put off because videos are too short, I could understand the logic that people might want longer videos, and that therefore YouTube is going to give people what they want. But I think I'm overthinking it, to be honest. Okay. Catherine, I love landscape photography videos, but they look like so much work. Yes. I knew I would never be able to do that. And to be honest, I hadn't really done photography for quite a while. I say that my oldest daughter's 5, and when I kind of essentially gave up landscape photography when she came along, and it kind of coincided with lockdown and COVID and stuff as well. So you couldn't kind of really get out much anyway. So I just kind of fell out of the habit of doing it. But yeah, and even now I still enjoy taking photos, but making videos, if I was going to try and create videos in the same volume as I have done on this niche, I would never have stuck to it. I'd have always had things coming up that would have meant I wouldn't get out to record videos like that. So I didn't even attempt to do that. But it's fine, because I actually really enjoy talking about YouTube. So it's become a real passion. So I'm enjoying making videos about that, and I'm enjoying doing the lives about it as well. And then Catherine, you're just agreeing with Laura, yeah, 5 to 7 minutes. I think, yeah. And again, even if that theory about people watching on their TVs was true, I think there's still, I mean, when I look at my analytics, and I know my subscribers is a relatively small number, or well, even my viewers, not just subscribers, but yeah, people, in terms of people watching on TV as a percentage of my viewers, it's like less than 10%. So at the same time, I'm thinking, well, okay, most of the people that watch my videos are watching it on a phone. So therefore, I don't think the length of the video matters. If anything, they're going to want a shorter video. So yeah, I think that makes sense. And at the end of the day, you're going to have all types. Everyone's different, right? Everyone has preferences about length of video they want to watch, how they want to watch it. I don't think there's ever going to be one like dominant kind of way of watching YouTube. I don't think it's going to become Netflix. Not saying that people maybe don't watch it that way, but there'll always be people that are wanting to watch small videos, like on their lunch break on their phone, or waiting at a bus stop, or whatever it is. I think that's what makes YouTube unique. There's not really anything else like it. So I think there'll always be a demand for videos of all lengths, really. But if your analytics are to be trusted, and you're seeing that the majority of your viewers are watching from a phone, then I don't think making longer videos is the right way to go. Because as you said, if the video is 10 minutes long and it's 2 minutes of value and 8 minutes of fluff, then it's people aren't going to warm to that. Okay, how are we doing for time? 9:05. That's been over an hour already. although probably an hour of actual audio because I had problems at the beginning. How can I ask how is the picture looking? Because I'm getting told the connection's unstable again. So I don't know if anyone's seeing, is the picture quite pixely or sort of granular? Does it look okay? I was saying at the start that I've been trying to improve my internet speeds up here. I'm doing a speed test as we talk, and it's looking okay. So I don't know why. There was one interruption, but it came back. Yeah. Thanks, Laura. Yeah. It seems like the internet speed just kind of goes up and down. Like right now, I'm getting told that the internet speed's really good. But yeah, it seems to be inconsistent, and I'm going to have to think about that if I want to do lives more often, because if I'm dropping out, it's not good. Yeah. Catherine, you're saying the same thing. Picture granulated and comes and goes in clarity. Okay, I'm going to have to think about that. I know there's something else that is going to help make the picture quality better, but it still needs to be able to upload to YouTube, and that still requires a good upload speed. So maybe that is something I'm going to have to work on, and I don't know how. I don't know what more I can do other than start doing these inside. But I've only got a tiny space inside to do this. But maybe that's what it's going to have to take. Okay. Anyway. So I was just going through to see if I can see any comments that I've missed. This must be a thing that Rob, he can obviously search his comments. But when I use StreamYard, I don't think I have the ability to do that. Which is going to become a problem in the future, potentially. So whilst I've still got some people here, I don't know, we'll see. I might kind of go on for another kind of 20 minutes, see if anyone else joins. But yeah, I mean, what's going on with your channels just now, guys? What's your plans for your channels? What are your current hurdles that you're trying to overcome with your YouTube channels? Let's hear what you're struggling with, what you're trying to do with your channel. That would be good, and that might spark up some discussion. For me, I was mentioning earlier on, I'm not really bothered about getting monetized now. I'm just purely trying to grow my subscribers and build a decent audience, and look to other revenue streams rather than AdSense. And if AdSense comes along, then great. So that's kind of where I am at the moment. I'm not obsessing over watch hours and stuff, because I don't think it's healthy. In fact, I'll have a look and see. I don't know, can I share my screen? Let's have a look and see if I can go into my analytics. See if I can find my watch hours. Watch hours. It's only showing me the last 28 days. In fact, I can see it from here. 135. So it's actually gone down, because obviously the last few days have obviously dropped off. So yeah, I mean, it's such a huge ask to get to 4,000 hours. Laura, I'm in the slow growth phase, but just increased to 3 videos a week, and I'm curious to see how that goes. Just started a school community this week as well. That's cool. So yeah, three videos a week, Laura. That's good. I've been doing that the last wee while, and I've kind of opted to kind of drop that down to two, with a live on top of that. So it's still technically 3 videos, but I've been finding getting the time to do 3 videos, and then a live on top of that, a little bit too hard. But then it just depends on circumstances and available free time and stuff. So I'm sure you'll manage that. So um, yeah, it was interesting when I seen your channel, because that's a niche that I've not seen. I've not. I guess I've probably not been looking for that type of content, but I dare say there are other people out there obviously doing it. There's always people doing whatever you're doing in your niche, but it seems like something that a lot of people would look to. So I think it's an interesting channel. I think it will have good potential. And the school community is good. That's something I'm starting to look at as well. But I've literally just kind of gone on the website just to get a feel for what it's all about. Catherine, my growth feels slow. I come from a background of having good sized social media followings in business, so I do remember this phase. Yeah, I think it is kind of true. You tend to find, I had an Instagram account for my photography, which I don't use it now, so it's actually lost followers. But at one point, I think it was about 3,500 followers, and it's kind of like what I've experienced so far with YouTube as well, is that um, it took a while to get to the first 100, and then the jump from that to 150 was really quick. And then so I mean, last check was 168. Less than a week ago, I was on 150. So even 150 to need enough 170 has been even quicker still. So it does kind of snowball. And I noticed that with my Instagram account as well. Getting to 1,000 followers on that was, and I remember that at the time, uh, seeming like quite a challenge to get to 1,000 followers. But then, before I knew it, I was at 1,500 and 2,000 and so on. I think it is just, naturally, when you're starting out, you're just not getting that exposure. But that exposure starts to increase and increase, obviously, the bigger you get. So it's, everyone has to start somewhere, and everyone goes through that kind of slow growth pain, I think, or has, periods of slow growth, and then sudden bursts. And again, with YouTube, it could just be down to how well a particular video does. And as we talked about earlier on, I've given up trying to understand the algorithm. I get the basic principles of it, but even when you think that you've followed the basic principles to a T, sometimes it still doesn't work. And then other videos that you put up you didn't think were going to do well suddenly do better. So I think, yeah, I think I've kind of given up on trying to kind of understand the algorithm. I just do what I think is going to be good, and hope that it is. Laura, my third video I'm adding in is more casual rather than me trying to teach. It's just talking in my car on a walk. My next goal is 200 subs and 500 watch time hours, which I'll get this month. Well, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've just showed, I didn't show it, I didn't bring it up on screen, but I was just saying, as of today, it was slightly higher, but as of today, I've had 135 watch hours in the last 365 days. For you to be at 200 subscribers, which is kind of just above where I am, but have 500 watch hours, that tells me that people are watching your videos, which is good. And I think that's a good idea in terms of that third video being more casual. that's kind of how I've been managing to do 3 videos a week. Is that I do them mostly when I'm out walking the dog. So I've got this little studio here, but I've found I'm using it less and less because it's, sometimes I just have to take opportunities to record a video, and it's just so much easier to throw my phone onto like a little lightweight tripod. I've got my little wireless microphone, and I can be set up in seconds. And I also tie it in usually when I'm walking the dog. So it's just far more opportune to kind of get out and record videos. There's no way I could do 3 a week if I was having to come up here every time. I mean, I could batch them, I suppose. But yeah, doing the walkie talks ones are good because obviously you're outdoors, you're getting exercise. What's not to like? For me, I double it up with walking the dog, so it's something I have to be doing anyway. And I'm just kind of, making even better use of that time. So, but then usually I've not been doing walkie talkies the same. I've kind of been sitting down and so city downies, and I have a little camp stool that I carry with me, and I just sit down in the woods. I sometimes find I get too distracted by what's going on around me when I'm doing walkie talkies. So yeah, Catherine and Laura, just catching up there. What's going on? So yeah, Laura, what's your channel about? Job search niche. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I imagine that's a changing industry with technology and how the world's changing. Just added in an AI pillar, which seems to be popular. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Well, listen, anything to do with AI, any niche on YouTube is going to do well, I think, because, and that's something that one of the videos I'm planning to do next is how I use AI in my YouTube, because it's just such a hot topic. Everyone should be using AI as best they can. I know YouTube is kind of cracking down on people that are just creating AI videos and just spitting them out on YouTube, and I think that's I don't like that. But I use Chat GPT to brainstorm for ideas and to come up with my hooks and how and getting ideas for what I could do for my thumbnails. I've actually used Chat GPT, to actually create some thumbnails as well. So yeah, I mean, anything to do with AI, especially when it comes to like writing resumes, for your niche, Laura. I think people are probably missing a trick if they're not leaning on AI. I've used AI at work to write reports. I've just given it a paragraph or couple of paragraphs of information, and it's written stuff for me, which I'm going to read it through and make sure it's okay and tweak it and stuff, but it just saves so much time. And Laura, you were asking Catherine's niche. And said that, meant views, not videos. Yeah, I was waiting to say, if you've generated hundreds of videos, I think you are using AI. But yeah, hundreds of views versus tens of views. Yeah, that's doesn't surprise me. I do in-person workshops and get a sense for what topics to cover from there. Yeah, listen to people and the questions that they're asking. That's the other benefit of doing these lives is, and I when I watch like Rob's lives, he's getting obviously a lot of questions because obviously, I mean, he'll always say that he's not a guru, but I think we all look at him as a bit of a guru, and just seeing the questions that people are asking helps get ideas for videos. So if you're doing those kind of workshops and you're fielding a lot of questions, just capturing those and going, right, okay, how can I make a video about that? So it's a great way to get ideas, because especially if you're trying to do 3 videos a week, Laura, because that's one thing another reason for going down the route of doing a live and then 2 kind of regular videos is that try to come up with the ideas and come up with the hooks and the thumbnails and the titles, and trying to do, ideally I would be batching these up and have lots lined up ready to go, but I'm just not, I haven't got the time to do that. So I'm kind of having to do it week by week. And yeah, trying to come up with the ideas for 3 a week is quite difficult. Whereas with a live, you just kind of come in and see where the conversation goes. But again, AI can be a big help with coming up with ideas. Catherine, sub Laura, I'm retired, but know plenty of people with kids who would value your content. Yes, and Catherine's personal development, that's right. Laura, I've been on my own intentional personal development journey for 35 years, and it's my passion. It changed my life. I love sharing what I've learned to inspire others to change theirs. Yeah. And I think, yeah, that's, yeah, I mean, your channel, I think Catherine and Laura, both your channels are offer a lot of value and are really useful. And that's, YouTube really about, either helping people through teaching them something, or even just like some of like your videos, Catherine, get quite sort of deep in a good way, and just forces people to kind of think. And even that's giving value. Just there's videos of yours I've watched where I think, oh, I've not thought about it that way, or it's maybe encouraged me to ask questions that I wouldn't normally ask, and be a bit more curious about, why do I feel a certain way and things like that. So, yeah, there's so much good value out there on YouTube, depending on what it is you're looking for, and that's what it's all about. It's about helping people or entertaining people. So yeah, I think that's true. Oh well, so you guys have subbed. That's cool. Chappie's here. How's the live experience, Steve? Been in and out at work here. Yeah, it's been going okay. I'm still getting kind of internet warnings that yeah, connection is unstable. This is coming up in live stream. I think basically my internet up here, it just basically the speed goes up and down, and I think it's probably just because it's wireless, and I may have to consider doing lives from my house, which I don't know how I'm going to do, because the only time I'm going to do these is in the evening when the kids are sleeping, and the only room I could probably record in is the room that's right next to where the kids are sleeping. So that could be a problem. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to work that. But yeah, it's just teething issues. I think, yeah, Laura, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the plans to do a live every week, and I'm looking to do more kind of podcasty style going forward, because I like this format as well, but I think speaking to other creators and having that a bit more engagement, but kind of one-to-one with people, that's what I really enjoy, is kind of talking about stuff with other people one-to-one. And I think that people watching will get more from it than just listening to me. Yeah, so yeah, I think we'll that's the plan. So I think, well, obviously we've got some time. I've got time with Catherine in a couple of weeks, and I've got some other people lined up as well. And I think I did try and reach out to you, Laura. I was interested to have you on as a guest as well. So yeah, happy to do that. But yeah, I'm now a little bit worried that my internet is going to be a problem. So I don't know how I get around that. So I'm going to have a think about that. But yeah, the plan is to have a live every week, whether it's kind of podcast style or whether it is whether it's just kind of this type of kind of format. That's the idea. Completely relate. Don't have a proper room either. Yeah. I mean, I've got like a little office, but I mean, it's literally tiny. It's about 7 foot by 6 foot. That's where I work my day job from. I could do it in there, but it would be a squeeze to get my light in and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud now. I don't know how I'm going to manage it. I mean, I'd probably prefer being in there, especially in the winter time, because it's going to get really cold up here. I'll be sitting here with jacket, and you'll see the fog on my breath. Laura, how did I miss that? Oh, it's in your spam folder. We'll reply today. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. I couldn't remember if I had emailed you or not. I've been kind of building out a spreadsheet of people who had kind of, I think I'd put a post on it that asked if people were interested. In fact, I think all three of you that are on had expressed an interest in being on. And I know I kind of got a list of email addresses from channels, and I got through so many of them. I haven't reached out to, like, I don't think I've reached out to Chappie Uncut. I don't think I've reached out to you yet, but I will. But yes, I'm going to have to think about what I do in here to try and help the picture quality. Catherine, we used to have issues with internet in our rural setting, which was so frustrating. We have Starlink now. Yeah, so I'm exactly the same. So I live about 3 miles away from like the nearest town, so we're quite remote. It's just kind of fields around us, and we have like satellite broadband, which is okay, but it's not amazing. And one of my neighbours has got Starlink, and I did consider it, but I was kind of really grudging the idea of giving Elon Musk any of my money. So, but I might have to rethink that, because it is good. I can't argue with that. Laura, we're starting inside renovations right next to where I film, so there's going to be a lot more outdoor videos coming up. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the reason I'm out here, and so this is a detached garage from the house, and fortunately, it's got like an upstairs. And I mean, what you're not seeing is that there's just like loads of boxes and stuff here, but it's okay. I mean, it does the job. And in the winter time, I'll record more up here for like non-live videos, because obviously I don't need internet for that. However, yeah, live is becoming a problem. But the reason I set up in here was, when I started out, I was kind of like, felt a bit silly making YouTube videos and speaking to a camera, as I'm sure we've all been there. And especially just like with my wife and kids in the house, we've got a dog as well. Unless the kids are sleeping, then the house is always noisy. Excuse me. So I was like, and it's distracting and all the rest of it. So I thought, yeah, I need like a separate space. But yeah, I don't think it's going to work for lives, which is annoying. I'll figure it out. I always figure out something. A Starlink brought in a lesser speed option, which we find fine, and it's half the price too. That's maybe worth considering then. Whether that's available in the UK or not, I don't know, because we looked at it, and there was like an offer to get the dish. You only paid like £100, whereas I think it was normally about £500. But then I think the monthly internet was like about £75, and we pay about £35 just now. So yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll have to do something, because I do want to do the lives. I think they're useful to have, and they're a great way to speak to people one-to-one, and then obviously just in speaking to you guys real time just now is obviously nice. But yeah, I think it's no good if I'm dropping out every so often, especially if you're interviewing someone in a podcast kind of setting. That's not going to work well if I'm kind of dropping out. So I'll watch this video back once it's finished and just see how bad it actually is, and then make a decision about how I move forward. Anyway, that's been an hour and a half now. I think I might call it there. But I appreciate everyone joining, and obviously Laura and Catherine, you guys have hung around to the bitter end and listened to me whinge about my internet. So yeah, I think we'll try and come up with a better solution for our podcast that we do next, or is it 2 weeks' time, Catherine? I think we've kind of said the 20th for me and the 21st for you, because obviously it's the next morning for you. So I'll try and might have to try and do it inside. I'll just have to think about. I've got 2 weeks to figure it out. It won't be a problem. So you're Catherine, just reading up the last comments there. So yeah, 5,000 New Zealand dollars for the setup, and it's about $80 a month rather than 160. I don't know how New Zealand dollars kind of works with like the pound, but I would think it's the same service, just in a different country. So I'm assuming it probably works out around the same. Thanks so much. Thank you, Laura, for coming. I appreciate that, and glad to get in on your channel as an OG. Can't wait to see where it goes. Thanks. Yeah, no, hopefully go somewhere. But yeah, and yeah, Laura, yeah, I'll look forward to getting a response to that email as well. Catherine, we've got Kim's here as well. In fact, we've got more people. We've got Nicola as well. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give it, and we've got 5 people now. Just say that you're going to leave, and then people will join. Okay, tell you what, I'll keep going for a bit longer, as long as everyone wants to. So, hi Kim. Just caught your live chat. Glad to have you here, Kim. Thank you for coming. Nicola as well. Hi, Nicola. Couple of big supporters of my channel, which is nice to have you here. So I was just literally about to leave. I'll stick around for a bit longer. I will wrap it up fairly soon, because it's getting kind of late. Although Nicola, it's a bit later for you. You must be an hour ahead of me, I think. So Nicola, did you miss much? Well, what have we spoken about? Just as you can imagine, all things kind of YouTube. I had a little bit of problems at the beginning where no one could hear me, which I somehow fixed, but I don't really know how. We've talked about my bad internet connection and how I don't think I can do lives from up here anymore, because people have been saying that I kind of drop out and kind of come back. So, oh yeah, just seeing that you got to hop off. Okay, thanks Laura for joining. We'll speak soon. But in amongst that, yeah, we've just been talking about. So we had Jay on earlier. We had Naz. And we had a few other people as well. I'm trying to remember who was on. But yeah, we were just talking about. It's been a bit of a therapy session. I think we've been talking about YouTube algorithm and not getting enough impressions on videos that we think are really good and all this kind of stuff. So Jay was having me and Jay exchanged WhatsApp numbers, and we've been having a bit of back and forth, and he's been helping me out on getting set up for doing lives, because Jay's done a little bit more than I have. And then at the same time, he was kind of saying one of his most recent video hadn't done very well, hadn't got a huge amount of impressions, and he was a little bit frustrated. I was just saying that I've had the same problem. But for anyone that hasn't watched Jay's most recent video, I would suggest watching it, because for me personally, I think it's one of his best videos, if not his best video so far. So yeah, it's, and he, I think, he was saying that he put a lot of effort into the video, and you can tell that when you watch it. So when you have put the effort in and you don't get the results, or if YouTube doesn't push the video as much as you'd hoped, or maybe you feel that should have been pushed, it does get frustrating. So yeah, we were just talking a little bit about that, and how I think we've all kind of experienced that to some extent. YouTube algorithm never really being, in my opinion, is never really consistent. So rather, I've kind of come to the conclusion, rather than trying to kind of work out the algorithm, I'm just going to just keep making videos and just see what happens. It's like what Rob says in his lives: once it's out there, it's out there, and just rather than beating myself up over the analytics, just put the energy into the next video and try and make it a bit better or whatever, so yeah, Catherine, we got to 90 minutes. Nicola, I was going to message you. That's one thing, Catherine, you do really well, is you drop comments on people's videos to say, are you going to join this person's live, which is good because it helps get people into the lives, and it's also engagement for that person's video, so that's good. How come I didn't get the notification? I get that as well, Nicola. There's some lives I've asked for notifications, I don't get them, so I don't know. Nice to see you doing live. Oh, thank you, Nicola. Yeah, it's hoping to build that to become certainly a bi-weekly or hopefully a weekly thing. But yes, my internet is a problem. I think it would be okay in the house. So I'm going to do some speed tests in the house when I go back inside, and break the news to my wife that I'm going to be doing live streams in the house now. Believe it's also a slower period. Maybe. Yeah, in terms of just people watching YouTube in general. Yeah, I did read something about this time of year. I don't know if that's just, I don't know, is it because all the schools are on holiday and stuff? It's summer holidays all over the world and folk are busy with their kids. I don't know. Can't really explain it. We just keep going. Yep. That's yeah. That was something else we spoke about at the beginning, actually, was I had a coaching call with Rob on Monday. So that was a lot of fun. It was good to get Rob's take on things and get some feedback from him. And, we kind of had a good chat about stuff. So that was really good. Oh, there's an influx of people all of a sudden. Indeed, Catherine is amazing. Couldn't agree more. Catherine, I don't get notifications either, so I put them in my calendar. I live on my calendar. Yeah, I've kind of started doing that. I kind of starting to kind of get a feel for people's schedules of lives. Like I know Jay does his on a Friday night at 9 o'clock UK. So I just kind of know that he's going to be on. Kim, have you considered using a Wi-Fi booster? Yeah, so I don't want to bore everyone that's listened to this already, but I've got, as I say, it's satellite broadband, which is a bit of a weird thing. It goes into the house, and there is a mesh network which gives me internet. It gives me Wi-Fi in the garage, and I don't think it did a lot of good. But I bought a huge network cable which runs from the hub downstairs in the garage up here. But the wired connection means nothing because ultimately that box downstairs is still running off of Wi-Fi. So it's never really going to improve things. Well, at least I didn't think it would. But then when I plugged it in, it was giving me better speeds. But then live stream still tell me that it's not great. We got Joseph. Hi Joseph, how you doing? Way to go with starting the streaming part of your channel. Good things ahead. Yeah, I think the lives will help once I've got an okay internet connection. And obviously, Joseph, you were on Jay's. We're just talking about Jay's lives on Friday nights. It'll probably be afternoon for you. So it was good to see you on that. That was a good one. If anyone hasn't watched Jay's live from last week, I would suggest going and watching. It was a good chat, and checking out Joseph's channel as well. He's got some good videos. So that was good. And I think I'm going to be on Jay's podcast in like 2 weeks' time, I think. So that should be fun. Okay. Oh, hang on. Good idea, Catherine. I'm assuming that's the calendar stuff. Yeah, calendars, especially if you've got busy schedules, can be good. I need to make better use of calendars. Joseph, what are your long-term plans, strategies for the channel? So, as I said, I spoke to Rob, had a kind of coaching call with him on Monday. So really, I want to get the channel to a point where I've got a big enough subscribers count that I can start to offer things that would be a revenue stream. So, in essence, a little bit like what Rob's doing. So, obviously, I feel like I don't feel like I could justify charging people to do coaching on YouTube yet because I'm just getting the channel off the ground. But doing like mini courses and sort of stuff like that I can ultimately package and what have you. That's really where I want to take it. And if that can become a full-time thing, if it got as far as getting into coaching and that type of stuff, and that could become a full-time job, then that would be the ultimate goal. Equally, as long as I enjoy doing it, if it's supplementing my income in some way, then that would be fine too. But I'll aim big. I'll try and take it as far as I can take it. And it's a long-term thing as well. So I'm 42. I'd think about that. I'm 42, and obviously I'll retire at some point. So I would plan to take this into retirement and still be making videos about YouTube in my retirement, so that and doing coaching and selling courses and stuff like that, and whatever else, merch. I don't know. I laugh when I say merch because I just like I don't know what that would look like for my channel, but yeah, who knows? It's just monetizing it to but not in a way that necessarily relies on AdSense. I think that's the one thing that you realize pretty quick when you start researching YouTube is that if you get monetized with AdSense, that can be obviously you're not going to say no to that, but equally, unless you're like an Ali Abdal who's got what sort of 5, 6, 7 million subscribers, I doubt you're making significant money from AdSense alone. And obviously, it very much depends on how your videos are performing as well. So it's not consistent. So I kind of came to the conclusion, well, I'm not going to chase watch hours, because chasing watch hours is just going to encourage me to make videos that are longer, probably more rushed, because I don't have a huge amount of time. And ultimately, those videos are not going to be good, and then people won't watch them, and you don't get the watch hours. So for now, I'm just making videos that I think people will want to watch and will enjoy watching. That should hopefully build trust for people to subscribe to the channel and get the subscribers to grow. That's kind of where I'm wanting to go with things. But as I say, I'm looking to do this into my retirement, so this is a long-term thing. That's why there's not a desperate rush. I'd like to start supplementing my income as soon as possible, but yeah, I've got time to let it grow, and if that comes later, and if it helps boost my retirement and things, then great. And it was a really long-winded answer. Okay. I see Naz has just scheduled his for the same time as mine. I think I'll reschedule. This is the thing, because I was saying to Rob, I'm only going to do every second Wednesday, because on the alternate Wednesdays he has his members only lives. So yeah, I was like, I was joking to Rob. I said, all the people that would watch my live are probably watching his lives. So I was like, I can't do that. And we were having a bit of a laugh about it. Especially there was somebody gifting loads of memberships on Rob's lives last night. I don't know how much that must have cost them. And in fact, I got one of them. Well, I think pretty much everyone got one. And so I was like, okay, he's going to have even more people watching his members only lives now. So, but yeah, this is it. There's so many people in this community that are doing lives that, you almost kind of run out of available slots. So I was kind of thinking in my head, is like, does anyone do a Thursday? So I was like, well, I do a Thursday instead, and that way I could do one every Thursday. I don't know. Catherine, Nicola, just put it in as a repeating event. Yeah. It saves adding it every week. Kim, you've grown to 168 subscribers. Yahoo! Yep. Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was mentioning it not that long ago that, yeah, the talked at the beginning of the video about watch hours, and briefly mentioned it a second ago. It seems so unattainable to get 4,000 watch hours, but getting 1,000 subscribers sounds a lot when you first start and you're sitting at 0. But I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I remember it being the 3rd of July last month, getting to 100 subscribers because it was my daughter's birthday. That's why I remember the date. And we're on the 6th of August, and it's up at 168 now. So it took 3 months to get to 100, and it's taken a month to get another 68. So you can kind of see the momentum starting to build. And I think, obviously the bigger, more subscribers and the more engagement those subscribers are giving your videos, the slightly, your impressions will start to jump up in terms of YouTube pushing your video out more, because obviously there's more people initially watching your video and giving it a thumbs up. And obviously we've got a good community here of people who support each other and, watch each other's videos and hit the thumbs up and things. So I think naturally, the more people your videos are being put in front of, that subscriber count is going to start to make bigger jumps sooner or quicker. So, in another month's time, we'll see. As long as I'm still putting videos out, and obviously, added to that, hopefully the videos that I'm putting out are getting better. I've seen a difference in my delivery, and there's still a long way to go. But if I compare my early videos to the ones that I'm doing now, I certainly feel like I'm talking a lot better in them, and the edits are a little bit cleaner. So obviously that helps. I guess if people are seeing improvement and or people that are finding you for the first time, if you're that bit more polished, and we talk about, you don't have to be totally polished, and you don't. But I think Catherine mentioned it earlier on. It's if you've got loads of filler and fluff in your videos and repeating yourself, which I've always been guilty for doing. I've tried to get better at not doing that, or at least editing it out. If I catch that I've basically made the same point twice but in a slightly different way, I just remove one of them because what's the point? So yeah, the better you get at doing it, I suppose I'm trying to say is that more people are going to respond well to it, I guess. That'll be good, Steve. Yeah. Catherine, after the first 6 months of retirement, I found I needed something to focus on, hence restarted my channel. Yeah, and I think YouTube's a great thing to do in retirement. Whether it's something that you've built up and continue on into retirement, or whether it's starting it in retirement, I don't think it really matters. It's good to have, I can't imagine retiring. I mean, the idea of a break sounds nice right now, but I know after a couple of weeks I would be crawling up the walls with boredom, because I just need to be doing stuff. So it's like almost like a project, and there's a learning curve involved in it as well. So it's almost like going back to school. So I can see why so many more people who are, my age or slightly older and maybe retired that are starting to do YouTube, because it's an addictive thing. Like the process of creating videos, especially the this side of it, being in a live like this and speaking to people in real time, and bumping into the same people and all these different lives. There's a nice community feel to it. I've had nothing but positive experiences from people in these kind of live videos and other people's live videos. So I think that if you're retired and not sure what to do next, and the older we get, we've all lived life. We've all got stuff that we've picked up along the way that we can pass on, or we've got skills, that are, Catherine, you're kind of focusing on. You've obviously put a lot of effort into your own personal wellness. So you've picked up a lot along the last 35 years that you can pass on. Likewise, you've had businesses that have done well, so you've got things that you've learned from that. So, if you can help, younger people that are a little bit further back in the track to get them and give them the success that you've had with those things, then, it's a nice feeling to think that you're passing that on, and that you're building a community as you do it. And if you maybe don't necessarily need it to grow to the point that you're making money from it, but equally, even if you don't need to and you wanted to do that, then you still can. For other people, might see it as, this is something to build up so that when I do retire, then, and that's kind of like where I am. It's like, if I can take it to that level and bring that into my retirement, it will keep me busy, keep me sharp, and keep me motivated. But it's also supplementing my, my kind of standard of living when the time comes. Catherine, you can actually eventually soon get into coaching. Life coach, says Nicola. Yeah. And yeah, that's right. You're a certified coach and have been for 10 years. And you offer one-to-one sessions. Yeah. Nicola's asking if he started already, and you said yes. I'm just kind of going through Nicola and Catherine's conversation there, but yeah, that's the thing. And this is kind of the video I recorded today. Actually, everyone thinks you need to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to make money from YouTube, which is true for the ads, but you could have 50 subscribers and be offering services through YouTube. Obviously, the bigger your subscriber count, the more potential customers there are. And that's, I guess that's the point, I suppose, is you kind of lay the foundations to a YouTube channel and build up that audience and gain that trust in people through your videos, through your lives. It's like that personal brand development, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, if you've got the skills to offer that coaching, it doesn't matter how small or big your channel is, you can offer that right away and be making money. And you know, for me, because I'm talking about YouTube, you know, I've not walked the walk enough yet to justify telling people, oh, pay me X amount and I'll help you grow your YouTube channel, because I can't do that. But you know, what I can do is I can build kind of mini courses. So things like things I've learned about camera confidence, things that I've learned about you know, YouTube already, you know, editing, stuff like that. You know, again, not claiming to be an expert in any of these things, but I've built up enough of a knowledge that I can start to kind of build out courses and sell those. And that's my first kind of train of thought. Well, my first train of thought actually is a lead magnet. So something that will offer value that people can download for free in exchange for giving me their email address so that I can build from there. Then look at courses, and then once the channel gets to a size where I feel like I've kind of got a, you know, what's the right word I'm looking for, that validates the fact that I'm in a position to coach people. That's what I would like to do, because I like helping people, I like to teach people, and I like YouTube. So if I can combine all that, but it's down the line. And like when I was speaking to Rob as well on Monday, he was saying if you try and do all these things right from the word go, you're not going to achieve any of those things. So just take it bit by bit. So do the lead magnet, whether that's like a, you know, 20-page ebook or something like that. Set up the mailing list, kind of start to build that. Then start looking at maybe building a course, and then maybe build other courses one after the other. Then maybe offer that as a package, and then hopefully in the time that all that's happened, maybe the channel gets to a size where you go, okay, actually maybe I can think about offering coaching, because you don't necessarily have to be a a, a Rob sized channel to do that. I mean, Ty Myers, he's been offering coaching since he's had like a couple of thousand subscribers, and he has people that take him up on it. I think it's not even so much the size of your channel; it's the trust that people put into you. So if you know, if you're regularly engaged with people and you're consistently offering value in your videos, people might be more inclined to actually part ways with their hard-earned cash in exchange for coaching from that person, because they feel like they've built that relationship, especially when you're doing lives and things. So that was kind of that was the kind of penny dropping moment for me, was, you know, I don't, to kind of make pretty good money from YouTube, it doesn't have to be, I don't have to be a massive channel. I don't have to be an Ali Abdal with millions of subscribers. I mean, he's on a whole other level. You know, he's got teams of people and he's building mobile apps and he's writing books, and you know, he's gone, you know, on another level that very few people actually would do. And I don't want to be that. You know, I don't want to get to that size. I want to just be a self-contained channel, much like kind of Rob is. But you don't need to have. It doesn't have to be a big business it can still be a one-man show, and you don't lose the personality from that, if that makes sense. God, I can talk, can't I? I appreciate I'm rambling a little bit. Quick catch up in the comments. Nicola's recipes. I've got to add another time slot. I've only got one right now. Can't go strong into and mention in your videos, because I know there are many out there who will require this. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. Steve, you've got this. Thanks, Nicola. You guys are a huge support to the channel. Just the encouragement that comes from you guys is amazing, because you know, you do have ups and downs with it. You know, there's times where you think that you're really seeing some momentum, and other times where you don't. But when you've got people who kind of religiously drop a comment on your video and offer encouragement, it's a big lift. So thank you. Catherine, love helping others. Yeah, I think there's two types of people on YouTube. Personally, you know, I think there's people that are just in it for themselves, and there's the people who are doing it out of a real, genuine passion to help people. And you start to kind of decipher between those two, and gravitate towards the people that are genuinely trying to help. That's what I find anyway. Yep. Yeah, that's it. That's it. This is kind of a laying the foundations. You know, it's I want to help. I want that to kind of, you know, because I can't see me ever not enjoying doing this, and I don't think YouTube's ever going to go away. You know, even with all the talk about AI and stuff, people want raw stuff like this. I don't think the demand for that will ever go, unless YouTube decides to kind of go off on a different tangent with how they do things. But I'm not saying it won't change subtly over the years, but I said earlier on, you know, I don't think there's anything like YouTube, and I think that's what people love about it. So I don't see why YouTube would, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Keep your lead magnet relatively short and easy to digest. Yeah. So many times that you download a lengthy one and then never read it. Yeah, I mean, I said 20 pages. That was just kind of an idea off the top of my head, but yeah, I think you're right. You want people to. It's like watching a video. It's exactly the same, isn't it? You know, if you make it 20 minutes long rather than 10, people might not watch it the whole way through. Keep it packed with the value, and keep it as short as possible, so people don't have to commit too much of their time. Catherine's become my well-being and business coach in the last few weeks. We all need it. Yeah. Yeah, no problem, Nicola. I think to be honest, I'm probably going to call it there. We got an extra half hour out of that. So, but yeah, it's 10:05 here, so I'm gonna go in and call it a night, I think. But yeah, it's been good. Apologies for the kind of ropey internet. I'll see what I can do to fix that for the next one. But yeah, I think if I don't do one next week, then the following week, Catherine, it's you and me doing a podcast. So it'll be good to have people join for that, and that'll be a lot of fun, I think. So yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks very much for joining, for staying till the end, and yeah, catch up with you all soon. Okay, we'll speak to you later. Bye.